Today, I'll be trying to figure out where Michael the Santa from GTA 5 is actually from. And I know there's gonna be someone in the comments like, he's from the Midwest, we've known that for years already. Well, I'll try to find a more specific answer, if you will. The first and least likely option, in my opinion, is Carcer City. Carcer City, even though it's not confirmed, it is highly speculated in the GTA community that this city is located somewhat near Liberty City. This automatically rules it out as a potential birthplace for Michael. And the only reason I even decided to talk about it in this first segment of the video is the fact that Michael committed his first robbery there back in 1988 and managed to walk away with $10,000. Now let's look at a more likely candidate, North Yankton. North Yankton is the place that is most likely where Michael is from, and there are multiple hints throughout the game suggesting that Michael is in fact from Ludendorff, North Yankton, which is based on the city of Fargo in the state of North Dakota. Let's take a look at the first hint, which is in Michael's house, and it's this postcard that says "Greetings from North Yankton." This implies that Michael still has family there and that they're still in touch after many years. Another big hint, in my opinion, is Michael's place of burial, quote unquote. When Michael's death was faked after the robbery in 2004, he was quote unquote buried at the cemetery in Ludendorff, North Yankton. To add to that, when the funeral was being held, we can see Amanda there, as well as Michael himself, who is watching from a distance. The next big hint is in the mission Bury the Hatchet. After Michael's shootout with the Chinese gangsters, as Michael is running back to his car, he passes by the train tracks, and on the other side of the train tracks there are two vans with the Chinese gangsters in them. But before they can do anything, a train comes by, and Michael says,
"If you were local, you'd know the train comes by right now."
implying that Michael still knows the train schedule in Ludendorff, and he was possibly counting on that in order to make his escape. However, that in my opinion seems a little bit too far-fetched even for someone like Michael. Another one that is pretty much a confirmation to the fact that Michael at least lived in Ludendorff at some point with his wife and kids is a little detail in his conversation with Amanda during a hangout. Now, I'll let you guys take a listen to this.
"Sometimes I think I shouldn't have come.
What are you talking about?
I should have stayed in North Yankton, left you to your crazy Vinewood dream."
Give me a date, I'll buy you a ticket.
Lester also hints at Michael living there. During the mission friend request, Lester says the following.
"As for you, you gotta figure that I never told anyone. That instead of gently decomposing in North Yankton, you're angrily decomposing in Los Santos with a shrink and a wife who don't love you no more."
For the next one, I have a line that Michael said during his flashback in Bury the Hatchet.
"It's not even a decision. Amanda, I don't have a choice. Do you want to die here where it's always snowing?"
And to confirm that it is in fact always cold in Ludendorff, North Yankton, we have the Ludendorff Life Invader page in game, which gives us some insight into the local weather. The locals consider 51 degrees Fahrenheit or 10.5 degrees Celsius to be heat wave temperatures, which goes along with what Michael said in his flashback during Bury the Hatchet. This one could be debunking my theory or even helping it. Depends on how you look at it, but I want to analyze the Cash Depot robbery that happened back in 2004 real quick. The robbery takes place on the outskirts of Ludendorff, North Yankton, and if we pay a little bit more attention to the Michael flashback sequence again, he refers to it as
"Some depot out of town you don't need to know,"
implying that they are located in the state of North Yankton, if not even in Ludendorff itself. Would Michael and his crew rob a bank close to their place of residence? Well, honestly, it wouldn't even surprise me if they did that, since maybe they tried to hide in plain sight, but I have no clue. I want your guys' opinion on this because I have no idea what to make of it really. With all of this put together, I'll go ahead and point out another two hints, of which I really couldn't find any footage, and that's why I'm leaving them for the last. Basically, I wanted to ask you guys to help me out with this, since I remember vaguely that someone during the story actually referred to North Yankton as being south of the Canadian border. And if you remember what I said at the beginning of the video, I said that it was based on North Dakota. Now, North Dakota, if we look at the real life map, it is definitely south of Canada. And this is where you come in. I actually want you guys to possibly find that line and go ahead and leave it in the comments. And another quick thing I want to mention is another line, and apparently this was supposed to be said by either Michael or Trevor during one of their hangouts. They basically referred to Ludendorff smelling really bad and having like a real like nasty sewer smell to it, and they said jokingly later that they really didn't want to die in a place that smelled so bad. So if anybody could find any of those two little lines of dialogue, I would really appreciate it if you left it in the comments. Now, with all of this put together, let's go ahead and try to come to some sort of conclusion. My conclusion personally would be that Michael may not be from the town of Ludendorff, but it is very possible that he is from the state of North Yankton. Now, before you crucify me in the comments about the size of the Midwest, and I know the Midwest is consistent of multiple states, and with that said, I know this is a very dodgy conclusion to make, but considering that North Yankton is the only actual place referenced as Michael even living there at some point even in his adult life, I'll go ahead and say that he is actually from North Yankton. But I really want to hear from you guys. What do you think about this topic? Do you agree with me or do you not agree with me? If I missed something, if I'm missing something right now, please go ahead and leave it in the comments below. If you like what I do here on YouTube, consider liking this video and subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, and bye bye.